Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my two obligatory informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And there's really only one piece of news in the fitness community today, and that's Calum Moger. And it looks like he took an arrow to the knee. So let me put on my +5 out of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. You know, this guy keeps getting hurt. Now, I'm not actually going to pick on him that hard because it's pretty obvious to me that it's one of those guys who got certain gifts in life and didn't get others. Not too bright at all. Clearly, some of the stuff he keeps pulling, but he got good looks. And good enough looks that it's paying his bills. And again, he might not be too bright, but he's pretty, so I'm sure he gets lots of ladies. Now, a lot of guys say, oh my God, did you really just say a bodybuilder might get the ladies? Yeah, it's not because he's a bodybuilder per se, but because he's tall, above average facial aesthetics, and he happens to be in good shape. Like that latter is icing on the cake. He's an outgoing dude who's tall, good looking, got personality. That will get you laid. Welcome to reality, guys. And you know what? Unfortunately, those are genetic. You can't pick your height. You can't pick your facial aesthetics. So, you know, in other words, we're going to put it in gaming terms. You got a low intelligence and a high charisma. Could be worse. But the problem we run into is that, again, he got hurt again. And it's like, at a certain point, you've got to go, Calum. You already knew you pulled the silly stunt with the bicep tear. At a certain point, you need to realize that you are putting your career and your livelihood in jeopardy. You're making a real good living. You're making good money off of your physique. A lot of people say, well, he's living life to its fullest. No, guys, living life to its fullest doesn't include destroying your one shot to make it in the world because you decided to do something fun and silly and lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. All right, that's not called living life to its fullest. Living life to its fullest is still having fun, being financially secure, doing something that you love. Now, that's part of living life to its fullest, right? You have something that you're passionate about and that you love doing, and you can make a 6-figure income doing it every day. That's living your life to its fullest. Being stupid is saying, I'm going to go pull some kooky stunts and keep hurting myself and potentially jeopardize everything I've worked for over 10 and 30-second stunts. You know, just like the silly curl. And in the case of that was so dumb that anyone should look at that. That was such a high risk that it was almost certain that somebody was getting hurt in that situation. That's not even like, oh, there's a 1 in 20 chance. No, that was like at least a 50-50 that somebody was getting an injury, right? At least 50-50. You don't do stupid stuff like that. And the other guy too, I mean, he took a risk with the other guy also. Again, pretty but not bright. So you guys, it happens to guys also, not just girls. Now he's doing the rock climbing. And again, at a certain point, you've got to remember, guys, you have to remember, bodybuilders are not athletes. Bodybuilders are not athletes. They do not train in a way that's conducive to strong connective tissue. They train in a way very frequently that makes them injury prone when doing other athletic activities, because they're not doing tons of big, dynamic, full range of motion, heavy exercises, explosive training. They do a lot of partials. Partial exercises, too many partials, make you predisposed to tendon tears, right? They make you predisposed to injuries when you have to do something athletic. They diet down really, really lean, and again, being excessively lean makes you injury prone. There are sports, particularly at the college level, depending on the country, but even in the U.S., where if your body fat tests at a certain level, they don't let you compete anymore till you regain a few pounds of fat. There's a reason for that. It makes you injury prone. Again, you take the same thing. He's carrying a lot of body weight. Not necessarily the best connective tissue health because of, again, the way bodybuilders train. He already knows he's predisposed to tears. The way bodybuilders train, combined with the excessive amount of drugs, because he blasts a lot of drugs. He's not even remotely natty. He's not even half natty. All right, we can joke about certain YouTubers being half natty. He's not half natty. This isn't a guy who uses 500 milligrams and then, calls that a cycle. Okay? Perspective here. Perspective. Uses a lot of stuff. Uses a lot of stuff. Stays really lean and carrying a lot of body weight. You start doing various activities. Rock climbing, he's carrying too much body weight to be rock climbing. I'm sorry. But again, unless you've got really strong connective tissue and you are a very strong person, you probably don't want to go engage in like rappelling down a mountainside if you're anywhere near 200 pounds or more. Save that for the smaller guys. Save that for the smaller guys, all right, who weigh less. They're less likely to get hurt. He's a big dude, pretty good sized guy. Has no business doing that, just like I have no business doing that. Let's be honest here. And even if you thought it was going to be fun, we come back to the point. You have a guy who's making his living off his physique and making a good living off of his physique. As much as I might knock bodybuilders, he's clearly making money. He's clearly making money doing it. So how are you going to knock that? I mean, I could knock it, but I just don't feel like it in this case. At this point, I just see this kid throwing away his opportunities. He decides he's going to undertake a high-risk activity when his physique is his moneymaker. This is his money. This is his meal ticket. He doesn't have any other skills. It's his moneymaker, and I think, I could be wrong, isn't he about to be cast in a movie? Has it been filmed already? Is it up and coming? I'm not sure. Does it already come out? I don't actually know, but if I recall, I know at one time he was supposed to be preparing to play Arnold Schwarzenegger in a movie. All right, that's his opportunity. When you are in a situation like that and you know you're about to make big money, all you have to do is hold constant and keep your physique on point, and you're about to be a millionaire based on it. You don't start taking risks with your physique. You don't go do silly stuff that risk injuries, that risk tears. You don't do that. You don't go rappelling down a mountainside. You don't decide to go bull riding. You don't go chase the bulls in Spain. You don't do the running of the bulls. All right? You probably don't want to go snowboarding down a mountainside. All right, these are activities that carry a degree of risk, particularly for a bigger guy who knows that he's not that athletic in spite of his muscle mass, who's got weak tendons and other things, injury prone due to training style, drugs, stuff like that. Not a good idea. Don't undertake those risks. I could understand if he was a recreational guy and he was an adrenaline junkie, but he's not. He is a professional, and his entire livelihood, his meal ticket, and his entire financial future is based upon not ruining the physique he has built. You can't do reckless stuff like that. And you see all these YouTubers getting hurt doing reckless stuff. It's kind of the point I want to make to you guys. This is what I always talk about, injury prevention. Yes, I am trying to get ridiculously strong. Yes, I want to be ridiculously strong in my middle age. You know what? If I get seriously hurt doing it, though, that's going to affect my income. And he's making more money than me. It will affect my income. I damn sure think about things like that. Why do you guys think guys like me are saying, well, I need to start considering the hook grip? I'm in my 40s talking about trying to get to a 700-pound deadlift. Maybe it'd be a real good idea for me to start working on my hook grip, because I've torn a bicep before. I don't want to tear another bicep just to give a display of strength. Maybe I should be low bar squatting. It's a little easier on the knee than high bar. I like high bar squats. Same thing. You've got to think this stuff through, even in your training, of going, okay, I want to be strong. I want to be brutally strong, but I need to be thinking about, can I do this without getting hurt? And this is stuff all of you guys need to think about. You got to start weighing this stuff in. The exercise types that you choose, the variations of the lift that you choose. And I'm not saying don't lift heavy. I'm not telling people not to do things like deadlifts, because I promote all that. But you have to have a degree of care with it. You've got to step back and go, maybe I should be considering the hook grip. Should I be touch and go deadlifting? I mean, it's the biggest way to get hurt on a deadlift. You need to think about this stuff in your training. You need to think about this stuff in your activities. And I understand when you become a competitor in anything, there's a risk of getting hurt. That goes hand in hand with being a competitor in any physical endeavor. But when you're recreational and you start doing stuff just to show off that you haven't thought through, people get hurt. People get hurt. People get hurt. And you see more and more of it with exercises that people choose to do. Some are more high risk than others. I can tell you right now, if you don't want a pec tear, you should probably never do a ring dip. There is no benefit. If you're not a gymnast, there's no benefit, for example, to doing a ring dip. As a recreational person who's not going to make their living in gymnastics, the pec tear rate is pretty high on ring dips. They have no muscle building or strength building benefit beyond a regular dip, so why would you do them? And you need to think about that with the things that you choose to undertake, because this stuff matters. The choices you make matter. And when you get hurt, you don't always come back so easy. And I'm saying that as someone who has been hurt. I have been injured. I tore a bicep before. You got to think about this stuff. And when your entire career depends on it, your livelihood depends on it, you damn sure can't be taking risks that are going to make you snap your shit up. You really can't afford to do that. That includes saying, hey, is it a good idea for me to rappel down a mountainside, for me to do a 400-pound cheek curl, for me to go run with the bulls? If you want to be an adrenaline junkie, you probably should be financially secure in another area that's not dependent upon your body being whole. And if that's the case, that's okay. Just make sure your livelihood's not on the line. Just throwing it out there. Should just be a little bit of common sense. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.